first question is, who likes just cake in general? Okay, so do you like cake that's hard and flat and tough, or do you like nice fluffy, right? Okay, okay, okay. You like a tough cake. Okay, you're the minority here. So our goal is to make a light, fluffy pancake. Okay, and there's a couple things that we can do to make it light and fluffy. Okay? So one thing, you may take science in class or in school or anything like that. So do you ever do any experiments in your class? I'm sorry, what kind of, in labs, things like that? Okay, so a pancake or a cake or anything that you bake is really a science, a chemistry science, okay? There's chemicals in your batter that help make the cake or the pancake rise. And in the case of pancakes, it is baking powder or baking soda or both sometimes will help make or form little gas bubbles in there and to help it rise up when it gets to that heat, right? It even forms gas bubbles before it even gets to the heat. So one of the techniques that you don't want to do, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to put your batter in there and put your milk or your eggs and your water in there and really beat it up really hard. You don't want to do that. You don't want to make it really thin, okay? When you beat all that up, you're beating all that air bubbles out of it, okay? You want to make sure it's nice and has a chance to sit a little bit and make some of the air bubbles. So one thing we're going to do, instead of really beating it with like an egg beater, anybody use this for their pancakes? Okay, so this is, you don't want to use this, okay? Because it's going to beat all those air bubbles out of it and make it a flat pancake. So you want to use something like, if I can find it, like a spatula of some sort. If I can find, I don't see a spatula in here. Not like this, but like a wooden stick or a rubber top to it. And you want to gently fold it over, okay? You just want to get it wet enough. You don't want to get it really wet. You don't want to stir real hard. You just kind of want to fold it over gently, okay? Make sure all the batter, the dry ingredients are wet, okay? And then you want it to sit there for 5 minutes, okay? Because that chemicals are happening with that wet and the dry ingredients to make those bubbles, okay? So you have to have a little patience when you make pancakes, okay? Who uses the shake and pour? Did anybody use a shake and pour pancake at all?
I did not.
You did last time? Okay. Those are convenient, right? You don't have to do anything. You're just gonna shake them up. What happens when you shake it up?
They mix together.
They mix together and you probably beat those air bubbles out of it, right? Okay, so it's convenient, but not necessarily the most tasty.
Yeah.
Okay, we want tasty pancakes. The other thing we want to do is that helps rise it up, helps those chemicals really take place is it's a little acidic, okay? Things that make acid. Anybody in your chemistry classes or your science class ever make a volcano? Or or seen a video on that where they put like a lot of baking soda in there and they put a bunch of vinegar, white vinegar in there and it just kind of blows up? Okay, that's what we want on our pancake, sorta. But you know what? White vinegar does not taste very good in a pancake. So we use some other types of acid to make it. So one thing I brought over here, this is buttermilk. It's got powdered buttermilk. Buttermilk is a little acidic and it tastes good. It's baked. So that helps it. Another thing you can do is you can use like a little lemon juice, although you don't want to use a lot of lemon juice because it's a little sour. So you have to play around with it. But those are some things that people for years and years and years have discovered. The combination of baking soda, baking powder, a little buttermilk. Let it sit for a while. It's going to probably be your best bet to make that light and fluffy. Okay? Another thing is to make it light and fluffy. It's when you put the batter on your griddle. Okay? Some people will just take the bowl and they will just pour it onto the griddle, right? So what happens when the gravity in that batter hits the griddle? It splashes and knocks all the bubbles out. Okay, we want to keep those bubbles in there. So I saw somebody use the ladle. This is great. You scoop it up, You put it close to the ground. It's not making an impact on it, right? It's just pouring just gently onto the griddle. I got your griddle dirty, didn't I? So yes, so another thing is use a ladle or a little, a quarter cup measuring cup and just kind of gently pour it on the griddle, okay? And let it sit. Okay, any questions about techniques to get those light and fluffy pancakes? Okay, a couple other things I see. I didn't observe you guys cooking pancakes, but remember when we did the pancake relay at the meeting the other night?
Oh, yeah.
I saw some people, they flip it over, and then they flipped it over again, and they flipped it over again, and they flipped it over again, okay? Doesn't do anything. What does it do? It makes it tough, okay? So let it sit, let it get done on one side, flip it over once, that's it, okay? Just one flip, pancake, okay? I also saw, some people did one flip, and they thought they treated it like a hamburger. Have you seen anybody on a hamburger on the grill and they flip a hamburger? They went squeeze, they got that grill out, and they squeezed it like that pancake was full of grease or something like that. No grease in a pancake, okay? What they did was they're squeezing those air bubbles out of that pancake and making it hard and tough, okay? Don't press your pancakes, okay? Got it, okay. Everybody did all those tips I said already, right? When they made pancakes this morning. You didn't have pancakes. Okay, awesome. So at this point, we're going to demonstrate cooking a pancake and make sure we follow all the rules I said. You'll remind me if I mess up, okay?
Sure.
And then we're gonna split you guys up, and you're gonna have about 20 minutes to bring Mr. Matthias and I a pair of pancakes. Oh, I brought you some. If you want to, I don't know about Mr. Matthias. I don't like my pancakes too blonde. I like a little color brown, caramelized color to it. Not too dark either. Very picky. I like it fluffy. I also like two pancakes that are fairly round. I don't like the little amoeba shapes on my pancakes. And I like them to be equal size, okay? Like two exact size pancakes.
What about syrup?
I'm not concerned about syrup. Syrup's aside. I do have my preference on syrup, but syrup is not part of the contest. Okay? Awesome. Sorry?
Syrup get extra credit.
Syrup get extra credit. Okay, well, one other thing I will mention here is we are to camp out. And we want it to taste good, but we're also a little bit about convenience, right? So this particular batter only calls for water, okay? Some batters will call milk. Some batters will call for buttermilk. Some will call for eggs. All those help make in flavor and taste, but sometimes bringing buttermilk or milk or eggs to a camp out is a little inconvenient, right? So I only brought you the powdered stuff that needs water, okay? Got it, okay. So, does anybody have a bowl that I can use?
You can use a Red Bull.
Okay. So I'm gonna put a few scouts to work here. The Red Bull's got stuff in it. Do we have a clean bowl or anything?
I can check the cup box.
Yeah, check the check box to see. 2/3 cups of water. And I need 1 thing of powder.
This check box is missing a lot.
Uh-oh, well then y'all need to tell somebody. You have another cup measure around here?
There's like
Here's one. Okay, I need a cup of this. What is a brand new one?
how many pancakes do we supposed to make? 4. For each I got 2/3.
2 for each of the adults.
Huh?
Nice.
Take it.
Is that roughly a cup? Yes. Okay, dump that in that bowl for me. Okay. For the lightning round, the powder's up here. Okay, he's got the 2/3 cup of water. Sure it's 2/3? That looks like 3/4 to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. What happens if it's too much water in there?
It's too like.
It's very thin. That's right. Another thing I'm going to mention is this is a little lumpy. If you want, one thing that you can do with this for pancakes Everybody see?
Yes, sir.
I said don't use this, right?
Yes, sir.
You could use it with dry ingredients only to make sure that you have no lumps, okay? So I'm just gonna get all those lumps out there, okay? But I'm not gonna use it to mix the wet and the dry. Okay, why don't you pour all the water in at one time? There we go. Okay, who's got the spatula? Okay, I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. I might just gently, but I'm not doing, I'm just kind of gently doing this. So I'm gonna give this to you and just gently rotate it. Not too thin, just until the point that the the dry ingredients are damp. And it will be a little lumpy. While he's doing that, let's get this grill going, guys. Okay, so I need this on a griddle. You probably always start it off on low and then increase the heat. Let's start it on low, both burners. And I see somebody found the scraper that goes with the griddle. That's exactly what it's for, is to clean that griddle off. That's good.
Wait, guys,
Yeah,
move out,
stop.
guys.
Stop. Yeah, we don't need both.
Yeah, go ahead and light both.
Okay. The right one's a lot more like intense.
The right one's like a little. Okay. Oh yeah, this is nice and buttery. But it's kind of lumpy, as you said. You know. Cause I test on it. Cause depending on what I just need to make one time.
How are we looking, Riley? Can I see it?
I do that.
Okay, so
You're actually supposed to light the fire, then turn on the toaster.
it's supposed to be like this. Is good. This is good. Let's not touch. Let's just go. We're gonna set it there.
Wait.
Okay.
Well, no.
Okay.
What's gonna happen if we let it sit there?
It's gonna form air bubbles.
It's gonna form some air bubbles in there. Some chemical reactions are going on. Okay. If we don't give it time to have a little bit of reaction, not much is gonna happen. Okay. So we're gonna let that sit there. Let's put this out of the way. We should use oil. You think this is the hot side?
Yes, sir.
What do you think? You think that's hot?
It looks like that's such a big pancake.
Yeah, you can see a few bubbles forming.
You can see bubbles.
Not really.
So I would say that that's probably a little too cold.
Yeah, maybe
It needs to sizzle a little bit. Although it's not too bad,
Yeah,
because it is forming bubbles. It is
not that big.
the edges of it are forming up. It's not a pretty pancake, right?
It's a beautiful pancake.
No, it's not pretty. So where is our spatula? Every patrol box should have a nice heavy-duty spatula. There, you got it.
Use that one.
That's a spatula?
That is a spatula.
Oh, no, it's here.
No, we call multiple things spatula. This is a spatula too. So another thing is you got those air bubbles in there. We want to keep those air bubbles, okay? But I would say once you get air bubbles toward the center of it, it's probably time to flip. We're going to look at it. Is that done?
Why does it look like a mushroom?
Not
I don't
really.
think it's
yeah,
done.
it's a little undercooked.
I didn't let it cook long enough, or the griddle wasn't hot
Guys,
enough.
turn up the griddle a little bit.
So I would turn it up a little bit.
Wait, that griddle or both?
So another thing to do is the next pancake may be perfect, but the next one may be too hot. Okay, so you kind of constantly have to watch your temperature. You have to adjust it up and down throughout the cooking cycle. Okay, because it's not perfect. It could be. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, this looks like ice rising.
Yes.
And then
And if I had to put them in varying degrees of color, I would do this from lightest to darkest.
there you go.
It's
That's
just
true.
depending on what your tastes are.
Mm.
So one thing we didn't talk about earlier is we talked about getting the griddle hot and getting the griddle oily, but we didn't talk about getting the griddle clean before you start cooking. So what's some stuff that could be on your griddle that
Batter, like the batter, like egg pieces.
it could be egg pieces. It could be the last campout's food that didn't get cleaned off very well. So that can particularly, let's say you all had equally dirty or equally clean griddles. Let's say they were somewhat dirty. Which one looks like it may have picked up some of the previous? This one? Anything else? This one has a little some streaks on it too. So they may all have that on there. But guess what? I don't see it on this one so well because it's a little darker, right? But it's probably all on there. So one thing to do is make sure your griddle's clean. Do that before we put oil on it. Maybe we want to put a little, after it's a little hot, put a little water on it, wipe it down, then put some grease on it, or oil on it, not grease, okay? That might get it a little cleaner, okay? What do you think, Mr. Matthias?
I agree with your assessment, you know. I also think maybe we'll, you know, was there some egg cooking on this one before? You know, on the griddle? Was there some eggs?
Oh, well, we didn't use the egg side.
Oh, okay.
We used like the cleaner side.
Okay. They look good though, all of them.
So I'm going to taste one.
Go ahead.
I'm going to taste this. I'll let you taste this. I'm going to taste this one first.
Okay.
What do you think?
Good. That looks really undercooked.
Okay.
Yes, it's a little undercooked for my taste.
Yeah.
Might work for somebody else. What do you
Let me
want to try it? Okay.
Let me go this way.
We'll try this one next. What do you think about this one?
It's undercooked on the sides, but then in the middle it's
It's
a little better.
But you can see the little air bubble pockets in there, can't you? Right? Okay. So that's a good sign that you let it do its thing before you put it on the grill. Okay? Still a little undercooked, I think.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Let me try this one.
These one looks the best,
Okay.
but they're kind of bit burned.
So-
I think burned. Please ignore that. It'll give it a bit of crisp.
What do you think about that one? Any air pockets in there? Bubbles in there? Yeah.
Yeah, it barely is small air bubbles.
Yeah.
On this one I see
The
it.
other ones are bigger.
Yeah, because y'all use like more water than we do.
So, what do we think?
The batter was delicious on all three. So
One thing I'll say, if this was served to me, I would eat all of these.
Yeah.
Okay. No complaints.
Yep.
But if we have to be super picky because we had to pick a winning pancake,
yeah.
I would pick this one.
Yeah.
Just because of the rise
Yeah.
and the color.
Yeah.
It's a little scorched, but not bad. Not
Yeah.
bad. I didn't even look at the bottom of this one. This one was good.
Yeah, that was good.
So it just be a factor of where it was on the griddle. So,
Yeah.
so whose were these?
Ooh.
Ours. Okay, awesome job, guys.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations to all of y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this one with a little butter and a little syrup on it. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.